Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to go over a video regarding the tuning capability for the 3S-GE beams in naturally aspirated form. So starting from the top, Link Monsoon X. There is a ECU with basically a plug and play base map on Panic Mate's website. I think that price reflects what is currently on there. Yeah, it's still $1,500. So, I mean, this ECU is like widely known, especially in the Toyota community. It's fairly easy to tune, from my understanding. But obviously, for ECUs, you want to go with what your local tuner can provide. So, speak with your local tuner, and get with him in regards to this. But this is a really good ECU. It can definitely handle any natural aspirated form for the Redtop beams motor. So option one, there's three options I'm going to go over in this one, but it's going to be basically a fully built motor. To my understanding, this can handle probably like 250 wheel horsepower. I don't have the exact specs for it. I have some speculations with the member here, Bad Beams. He has a Facebook group, and he has a custom intake manifold that I can show you real quick off of the top. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. But if you join his group, he has a lot of information. This is a guy who's building a what's almost done, but you can see 3S-GE blacktop with a COS C64. I don't know why he put 9,000 plus. I don't think he's going to get that high in the rev range, and but I don't know. I talked to him a little while ago. He doesn't have any dyno numbers yet. So this is this guy's, he's basically the engineer, and he does a lot of dyno testing for different, modifications on his engine and stuff like that. I think he has an SS2 because I looked at his pictures, and he has the twin piston calipers, but he also has the McPherson suspension up front. So I don't know why he didn't go with super strut. Obviously, it's going to be a superior design, especially in the type of racing that he's doing. He has like a 300 horsepower, I think 270 to 280 wheel horsepower. So he's pretty serious with his build. He hasn't provided a recent dyno number, but anyways, this is just some of his, journaling, if you will. But anyway, I've posted some stuff here. He has posted a lot of information here, so if you can check it out, go ahead. This is his current iteration of his exhaust manifold and B-pipe all as one unit, but I'm trying to show you here this custom intake manifold. See if I can find it real quick. It's somewhere around here. He has a lot of information. So he has like dynos and everything with VVTi on, VVTi off. This is probably one of his first iterations of his exhaust manifold base. And what do we have here? Let's see if I can find it. Please be patient with me. Well, I guess I can't find it. I'll probably go back to it so I don't bore the hell out of you guys, but it's got to be somewhere around here. 1 second here. There it is. So these are some of the pictures of his intake manifold. I think this might be his second iteration. I don't know if it's his final iteration, which he has in the car right now, but the reason you want this is because anything above like 7,000 RPMs, the I guess volumetric efficiency, if you will, tends to taper off. And there's this other guy who has ITVs, and I think before he installed the ITVs, he noticed that it was the power is tapering off after 7,500 RPMs. I don't know his exhaust setup, but nonetheless, not sure. I don't have a pricing on this. I messaged him a while ago for the intake manifold, but I didn't get a price. You're going to need the Tenzo fuel pump from 2UZ, Tundras and Sequoias, fuel injectors. Preferably, if you're going to get your own, get one with a flow chart so you can provide that information to your tuner. And then the this is one here off of 50 Motorsports. It's a 440cc or 450cc. You have to buy the connectors from the 2ZZ because it is different from the 3S-GE engines. And then the cylinder head bolts, use OEM ones, same for single and dual VTI engines. Intake exhaust cams, these are the ones that he manufactured and engineered, with dyno testing. The problem with the cat cams one, if you look for 3S-GE beams Redtop, intake exhaust cams, the cat cams are ones that are basically the main ones for the Redtop. There might be another company, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But they provide no dyno testing. Even when he asked them, Bad Beams owner of that Facebook group, he asked them for dyno numbers and they couldn't provide anything. So they're not as really as bulletproof as the ones that he has manufactured. And then he recommends, if you're going to go all out, to pour and polish the exhaust side of the cylinder head. He doesn't recommend upgrading to like lighter valve springs and for the intake and the exhaust, but since these motors are old, I'd recommend to upgrade to the dual VVTi ones and save yourself the money overall instead of getting aftermarket ones, which are more costly. Then you're going to want to use the OEM valve stem seals. Same for the 3S-GE engines, so it's a lot easier to source here in the USA. Same as the LFA engine. And then the pistons. He was saying that these cams that he has are made for 12.0 and up compression pistons. So there's JE 12.5 to 1. Get the manually forged connecting rods off of Prime MR2. Then the racing main rod bearings and thrust washers from Prime MR2 as well. And then the custom Mandrel built exhaust manifold and the B pipe made from 304 grade material, as well as the flanges. This is from that series I showed you on my channel from everything you should know to get up to speed on the Celica ST202. So the team here that had the 3rd gen 3S-GE with like the TRD front bumper and the wing on it, they didn't install, as you can see here where I'm circling with the mouse, they don't have a flex section here. So my guess is they're running solid mounts or very stiff polyurethane. So which leads me to this next point, the BRD white type. You can use these and get away without using a flex pipe, flex section here. So the further you run these back before they merge into one is going to provide a better top end and more torque down low. And then you want to get a lighter flat wheel. The OEM one weighs 15 pounds. I think the one on the link on MR2 Heaven's website, I should link it here, I probably will, is 12 pounds. And then we have the option 2, which is built on a budget. Same thing, his intake manifold, his exhaust cams. Then this is where we start to kind of, back off on the pricing and things get a little bit more budget friendly. So you want the Altezza pistons and the Altezza connecting rods. The piston rings get oversized. I should plug that into the top. Actually, no, I'm sorry what I'm saying. They don't. Aftermarket pistons and forged rods come with their own rings. So you'll get the piston rings there. I definitely recommend getting oversized by 0.5 mil. And same OEM cylinder head bolts, same dual VVTi exhaust and intake valve springs. You can cheap out here a little bit and save money by getting the Felpro or Supertech valve stem seals. And then we have the same 2UZ fuel pump. And then we have the this one here. Did I put that? I probably didn't mean to do that here. Fuel injectors, the same 5.0 Motorsport ones at 380, or if you can find yourself some used ST215 Caldina 3S-GE fuel injectors, and then get them tested, make sure they're up to standard. That'll save you some more money there as well. And then the same rod bearings and thrust washers. And then this is where you can also save money here, is the custom Mandrel belt exhaust manifold and B-pipe. Either you can make it out of SUS 409 or 304 for the piping, and then the same for the flanges either 304 or 409 grade. And well, technically you can only get the one that bolts up to the cylinder head as in a 304 grade or a mild steel. You can't get a 409. And then what else we have here? This is my B-pipe that I have currently on the car. So you can see all of it's made 409 piping. This is 304 on the flex pipe, and then this is the OEM flanges, which are mild steel, which at the time I didn't have the file to make these. This one you can buy aftermarket, which I showed in another video. But here is the BRD yellow type, so they're, I think, 70A or 75A durometer rating, and you also want to get the Lightning flywheel. I provided the link here on Prime Member 2's site. I think it's a chromoly version. And then option 3 is going to be like an OEM spec rebuild, so you're going to be getting the OEM, Altezza pistons and connecting rods. The same thing here is following. Piston rings, OEM cylinder head bolts, as you can see down below. And then the one thing you can kind of get away with and save some money is just get only the rear polyurethane transaxle mount insert. Ideally, the rear mount on the transaxle takes up probably like 70 to 80% of the load under acceleration and braking. I noticed that, so the front really only wears like 30% of the rate of the rear. And then the B pipe. This is where you can save some more money. Don't know what the difference is between what I have above and like the savings here, if it's worth it, or if you're just shooting yourself in the foot, because this was done on some members' beams with a stock engine, reusing the part of the B pipe that is factory, and they just cut it off here and probably did the 2.5-inch piping. Or you can do like this, and I don't really recommend pie cuts. I'm pretty sure it's fine for stock motor, but this is the guy with a blacktop Altezza motor in his front wheel drive ST202 Celica, so that's that. And then you can perform your own oil pressure logging before determining if you need a baffled oil pan setup. But another thing to note is some of these Redtop, Redtop, I think the earlier versions had this nipple here to run maps, so you can plug it in straight to your Link ECU. And then if you really do want to run the ARP head studs on like the fully built motor, you'll have to kind of make modifications to the upper oil pan. This was done on a Beams Redtop. The guy turboed, I think, using stock internals, so he's not really running that much boost. But nonetheless, here is the gear sets. You can see the drop off between each gear on the OEM gearing is pretty atrocious. This is my gearing, and like basically all the drop offs between each gear compared to an Integra Type R. And the power band in stock form is about 2250 to 2300 RPMs. Some of the thought process behind the gear ratios, and then what do we have here? Oh, let me go up a little bit, as well as where are we at? So these are these are some of the spacing and the gearing, and max speed in each gear. So that pretty much covers it, guys. Any other questions you might have, please leave a comment down below, and make sure to hit that like button, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.